The death penalty has its cons, but it also has its pros, which overweighs it by far, in my opinion. I think the death penalty is good for criminals that need to better themselves and really reevaluate what they did in these horrific situations. And like Al Capone, um, when you get the death penalty, you also get your last recommendations. You get your last wishes. Like he wanted a last meal. I think he had steak and potatoes and stuff like that. So that's what he wanted for his last thing. So the death penalty, it can be good in many ways, and it can make them better themselves and actually know more about themselves. And also for some of them, it get better to know God before they actually die. So according to ThemeCountry.com, the death penalty changed criminals for the better, and it also helped them better themselves and make their best wishes and help them turn themselves to God before dying. This fact leads to my first point. Death penalty torture make criminals think and look on the wrong that they did, and I feel bad about it at the end of the day, because when you die, you don't want to have hate in your heart. You don't want to have misconception, and also you don't want to have unforgiveness. So this will help them be able to get rid of all of that, and death penalty actually make them reevaluate their life. It's not good to be a criminal at all. So you need to reevaluate yourself and take the death penalty like a man. Like, you did your wrong, so you need to do what you need to do to be able to fix it. My second point is that a society needs to buckle down on crime as a whole. According to Amnesty.org, it's not fair for a family to have a low punishment and get rid of the death penalty if he did murder, or if he did a wrongful or horrific situation to that person's family. Like, that's not right to have a low punishment. If somebody murders somebody, they need to have a high tight punishment. They don't need to just go to jail for 3 months. That's not fair at all. If the society buckles down on crime, we can help families really justify and secure in many ways. The death penalty gives numerous and prevents someone from breaking out of prison, also killing someone. It does. Because when you have the death penalty, you're not getting out. It's either you die or they just leave you in jail until you die. It's that simple. According to ConnectedFund.org, since 2013, the rate of escape from prison dropped down to 50% because of the death penalty. You're not getting out if you get the death penalty. My third point is that it offers an appropriate consequence for the violent behavior given, and it also gives a fearful thought to people in need that needs to actually realize their consequences. It gives them fear in their mind, and also it makes them think about what they did in these horrific crimes. According to ConnectUs.org, violent conduct is sometimes proper behavior for some criminals, because some criminals don't know what nice is. You have to be able to give them straight up consequences. Like, you need to hold them accountable for what they did wrong. The behavior is not acceptable as a criminal if you're doing horrific situations. And also it allows and it deserves the punishment for everything that you did. According to therealist.org, the fastest way to stop a murder from continuing to kill people is to eliminate their ability to do so, which leads to my fourth point. We can't let dangerous criminals escape. That can't happen. Because if you let that happen, that means that they have a chance to be able to kill somebody else if they don't change their life. So that's why they need to stay in. That's why the death penalty needs to be legal. Death penalty gives criminals no option and no other way to kill or find anybody else. The criminal I made the decision to be able to make this an example of is Al Capone, like I said, with the last meal, and he really realized what he did wrong, and he made his life right before he died. This can reduce the risk of repeated offenses. My fifth and final point is that the death penalty limits the feeling of revenge upon the family. According to SophieBox.com, retribution is the opposite of revenge. So that means retribution meaning you basically feel the need to not have revenge with somebody and forgive them, and be able to notice what they did wrong as the victim. So the family that had the murderer and everything, they actually have to forgive and not have revenge upon them. So that's why you don't want them escaping. Because if they escape, the family might want to kill them. you know? So you just need to keep them in jail or make the death penalty legal so they could be able to just have everything could be smooth and sailing. Retribution amidst more crime and it limits the hate of criminals. And in conclusion, I think the death penalty can help by far 98% of criminals in the U.S. that committed horrific crimes like murder and rape and everything else that we think is not even that's just mentally wrong. Like it's not even our fault that these criminals are doing this. So make the death penalty legal. That's basically what it is.